I don't know. Lone Druid's pretty good if you can play him well, but
I mean, if they have a good Lone Druid player, he's definitely worth a ban. They probably do.
Yeah. And finally, that Beastmaster actually gets banned out. Hakuna Mirana has gotten Beastmaster every game. The first game he was played really well. Did have a solo lane against the Furion, so got really fast to Necro 3, and kind of just played it from there. But they banned it this game. What for each of you? Well, let's go down and say what hero specifically do you guys want to see this game?
5 seconds.
Meepo.
remaining.
I like seeing good Meepos.
oh my, you're a
Makes me
nerd.
happy. I doubt they're gonna pick Meepo because very few people, such as myself, you know, have the required talent to play Meepo. So I mean, unless they have Omar on their team, I doubt they're gonna pick Meepo.
All right, Christian, what hero do you want to see this game?
You know what? I've been playing a lot of anti-mage lately, so definitely want to see an anti-mage picked.
Well, we can all hope.
That's not gonna happen, but I want it to happen.
Alex, what hero do you want to see?
Well, you know, Chris, I'm always a fan of some good Wind Ranger play, so I hope we can see a Lena Wind Ranger mid here.
It actually would
Yeah,
happen last game.
matchup.
If you watch
Oh,
game
really?
it was
Say
Lena
Wind
versus
Ranger.
Windrunner. So
So there you go. It's
hero.
very likely.
yeah, it is very likely. They actually played Windrunner in both the past 2 games. He's pretty good Windrunner player. Hit a lot of shackles,
10
but
seconds
just really
remaining.
didn't. She actually got a triple kill last game, but that didn't really cut it
5
as the Clinks was
seconds
just way
remaining.
too far ahead in that last game. What kind of 1-2 punch do you want to see out of
Reserve
Nanaue?
time.
Out of these first two heroes, I was not expecting that at all.
Radiant team.
See, anti-mage.
Medusa Bloodseeker.
Anti-mage is gonna happen.
What do you guys think about these 2 first picks?
Anti-mage.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah, very
I'm not picking
unconventional.
anti-mage.
Standard first 2 picks you'd
Gonna
see.
cry.
I mean, Anti-Mage is really good against Medusa. You're right about that, Christian, but
He's absolutely
really
ass.
terrible against Bloodseeker. Rupture is probably one of the worst spells against Anti-Mage. I mean, for
But
any
if he
play,
blinks,
so.
remaining.
does he die?
Yes.
He's
Very much
Rupture.
does.
Yeah. It's kind of brutal.
This
I
bubble
still wanna see
just
it.
spews all the blood, so...
I want to see it still, YOLO.
I think it'd be pretty funny to see anti-mage blink while ruptured.
Radiant team.
So
back.
this
Have
game,
you
it looks
never
like
seen
there's going to be an Invoker mid instead of Lena. Probably put that Lena into the support position. Invoker, another really fun hero to play. To watch, at least. I'm guessing it'll be Quas Wex because of the Medusa, be able to drain his
10
mana.
seconds
But
remaining.
Alex, you're kind of the Invoker expert here. What do you think he's gonna go?
5 seconds.
Yeah, I'd say
remaining.
definitely Quaswex is the way to go here. You already have a lot of damage output coming from Lena,
Dire team
so you
back.
really just need to get that control and get that mana taken away from Medusa. Good pick.
What's
you
the
think-
build for Invoker in this meta?
For Quas Wex, it'll be Phase Boots, probably into Drum Orchid. If we think it's gonna be that. That's kind
10
of the
seconds
normal
remaining.
Quas Wex build. But we'll see. If he goes for the Hand of Midas, I'd also
5
like to see that,
seconds
because
remaining.
Invoker definitely needs those levels really fast, and that just excels him a lot. One question I was going to
Reserve
ask, though, is do you think this Medusa is going to be played as a mid or a carry? Because they do have the Bloodseeker picked up.
Radiant team ban.
Because Medusa typically is a safe laner, but recently has been kind of switching over to that mid lane position because she can't be ganked. I mean, you put on that mana shield, throw the Mystic Snake, that's about half the
10
enemy's
seconds remaining.
HP pool, and you just really can't die, especially with rotations coming in. So do we think it's going to be
5
mid against the
seconds
Invoker, or
remaining.
do you think it'll be safe lane here?
I think for Medusa, the early game against
Reserve
Invoker
time.
isn't too bad. That's a pretty even matchup in my opinion.
Dire
It's when you
team
get
back.
into that mid game when Invoker has a higher mana pool and can use EMP more. That's when
Radiant
Medusa
Yeah,
struggles
yeah.
against Invoker.
I think the Mystic Snake. I feel like the Mystic Snake would be decent against Invoker in the beginning, like Alex said.
Yeah, because definitely, especially if one Sunstrike kind of just depletes all of Invoker's early mana. So especially if you just keep throwing out that Mystic Snake, you're really
10
not going to be able to
seconds
cast
remaining.
anything in that mid lane.
Yeah.
So with these first 2 picks, the
5
Medusa
seconds
Bloodseeker,
remaining.
what do you think Nanaue is going for? Like, do you think they're going for a push strat? Obviously, maybe probably trying to go for that late game with the
Reserve
Medusa.
time.
What do you think they're going to be picking around these 2 heroes with?
I'm just interested to see how they're going to implement this Bloodseeker. I think there is a lot of good potential against the Invoker with the Bloodseeker. If you can get a Rupture and then the Silence to follow that up, the Invoker is very vulnerable. So I think there could be a lot of gank potential with this hero. So that's what I'm excited to see.
One thing I should say, I have played against Nanaue in the past, and they did pick Bloodseeker against me, actually. They did run it in a carry position when I played against them. So it is something they like to run. It's really not conventional or in meta at all. You don't even see it in pubs, really. But it is something they do like to run. It's something they're comfortable with. So it could just be that they want to throw off the opponent in game number 3 with this Medusa Bloodseeker first pick.
Honestly, I feel those off-meta picks are way more deadly than any meta pick. Because, you know, if they're picking Bloodseeker and going carry, that they know how to do it. And it's going to be scary.
And it also shows that, I mean, not shows, but it also puts, like, the other team might not know how to deal with it. You can run it really well, and the other team doesn't know how to deal with it. So it can really go both ways there.
It's really a double whammy.
5 seconds remaining.
So with Hakuna Mirana, they're kind of staying more conventional, the Invoker Lina.
Reserve time.
I feel like they need a little bit more control. What do you want to see in their off lane or their supports that gives them some of that control that they need?
I want to say a Tide Hunter. Tide Hunter would go
I was about
hard.
to say that.
I think
I
Tide would
don't
be
think
good,
you would
except
want to
for
pick
Rubik.
a Tide. Yeah, I don't think you want to pick Tide into
I think
Rubik.
Tide is good in any team comp. And
But-
anyone who disagrees with me is wrong.
So Hakuna Mirana does pick up the Jakiro, which kind of shows to me that they want to push. If with the Lina Jakiro support duo, I'm guessing, maybe Jakiro offlane, I mean it's happened before. But with Lina Jakiro support duo, really doesn't offer much anything else other than push and a little bit of damage. So I think their strategy is going to be push before the Medusa gets online. How do you feel about this working against the Bloodseeker Medusa so far?
Yeah, I think that's the best option. Looking at a Bloodseeker and Medusa together, that's a really scary late game. So I think you really want to try and take control of the game before either can really get online and have a huge impact.
Another thing, you can actually, so the Bloodseeker's first ability, the Blood Rage, you put onto the Medusa, and that increases her damage by 40%. So she is super tanky, so it doesn't really care about the extra damage she's taking, and gets that 40% extra damage. That can be really deadly when she's getting that split shot onto everybody.
Yeah, that would kind of devastate it.
Hey, Omar's second favorite hero.
Dire team pick.
The Sand
really-
King cometh.
If I don't see any big plays from, let's say, a Blink Dagger into an Epicenter, I'm gonna say some mean words about this man.
Do we think that the Sand King is going to be greedy and kind of go into
10
that
seconds remaining.
jungling position, kind of showing his face a little bit, but staying in the jungle until he gets Blink Dagger? Or do you think he'll be roaming around a little bit and trying to...
Radiant
I think it
Spice
really
it.
depends on where they. I think it depends on where they play the 2 cores they have. I feel like Bloodseeker might have an easier time in lane. Hey, I was just about to say they pick up a Slardar for their offlane, so I'm gonna call that one for a dub on my part.
Nope, you called it after it was picked.
5 seconds.
No, kill yourself,
remaining.
Omar.
But I think Hakuna Mirana has the advantage here, because you see that picture of a cute cat, and you look at
It really throws off the
picture of a cute cat, so I think they're in trouble here. They needed a picture of like a Shiba, or like, you know, a cute
Hey,
dog.
buddy.
Christian, send him a picture of your dog.
So with the Slardar pick, kind of puts that Jakiro into the
Dire
support
team
position.
back.
I feel like the Hakuna Mirana really need a carry to kind of bring this draft all
Dire
together.
team
What do you guys think that carry is going to be? Let's go down the line. Alex, what do you think that carry should be for Hakuna Mirana to kind of bring the draft together?
I mean, Anti-Mage is still viable. They don't have a really good, just hard stun other than the Rubik and Sand King if you
10
can hit it.
seconds remaining.
But that's still viable.
Alright, Christian, what do you think?
5
Gonna stay with that
seconds
anti-mage,
remaining.
or what do you think they should get here?
I don't know. Maybe a jug for the healing ward and the really hard to steal Omni Slash.
True. Yeah,
But,
healing word is very good against, or for push strats, getting that heal for the creeps as well.
But who knows?
Oh, but they're gonna go for the lifestealer.
Radiant team pick.
Isn't too good against Medusa, because Stone Gaze does go through his rage. But against everyone else, he can just kind of turn and fight. He can rage against the Bloodseeker. Whoa!
The Techies pick?
Are you
Techies.
kidding?
The Techies!
I was not
Well,
expecting
we're in
that.
for a long game here, boys.
But I do know that Potom does
God.
like to play this hero. Potom is one of those filthy techies pickers that likes this hero, even after it got hit with the nerf bat pretty heavily a couple patches ago right after TI. This is gonna be an interesting game. A lot of heroes we don't see. I mean, basically the whole side of Nanaue we don't get to see much of, and Hakuna kind of staying sort of towards the meta more. What do you think is each team's win condition, Alex?
I think really Mirana is going to peak at around that 30-40 minute mark. And then after that point, the Medusa is going to come online, and then the techies will.
I think they really need to. Yeah.
Penetrate. So the clock is really going to be against Mirana for this game.
All right, Alex, wanna do the honors of introducing the Dire side?
Prepare for battle.
Sure. So, playing your Lifestealer will be Proud. Playing your Slardar will be Skrunk. Playing your Invoker for this game will be Sultan the Slayer. And playing your Lina will be Ursi. And then playing that... Did I get the Jakiro?
No, I don't think you did. Playing Jakiro?
Snap, he's deep already. Playing your Jakiro will be Flub.
Alright, and Omar, let's do the side of the Radiant. Who do we have playing Radiant?
So on the Radiant side, we have I Like That Panda playing as Medusa, TGC playing as Rubik, POTM of the Moon playing with a superb best hero in the game, techies. And then we have YRW playing as Bloodseeker and Jet Sejurio, I don't know how to say that, as Sand King.
We'll just call him Jet for this game. We had a lot of interesting things happen. We had obviously techies TPing in to get those mines down. They were actually pinged out, so they should know they're there. Doesn't matter, they're still going to run into them because that's how techies works. Jakiro also TP'd down bottom to block up the Sand King's jungle so he doesn't get that really fast blink dagger. So he's going to be pretty sad when he finds that out. Again, Sultan actually played the Invoker first game and goes for Boots first. Alex, how do you feel about Boots first on this Invoker?
I personally don't opt for it. But I mean, if he's really that worried about ganks, I suppose it's alright, but I think there are better use starting gold. But we'll see how it plays out this early game.
No one went for the top rune. Interesting strat.
It's actually still there. That's
still
100
there?
gold that someone could have got. But you know, they're too worried about the mines and warding and whatnot. So it is going to be a solo lane Bloodseeker down in the safe lane and a tri-lane top. This is one of the weirdest tri-lanes if I've ever seen one.
Sand King,
Rubik, Sand King, and the techies. So we'll see how that works out. I feel like that's.
I gotta say, I'm
what
really,
are they going for?
I'm really
are they going
liking
for
the Radiant side
shutting
right
down
now.
the Lifestealer? Hecka?
I think they're mostly going for just. I honestly don't know. They like to play this techies. I think they're going to try to get the Rubik lift and thrown into the mines. It's something that you can do, but it's really not that far of a range on the toss. So you're going to have to play around that. Like, I mean, I would guess they have practiced this before if they're going to pick it in a elimination match of 8v2L.
Looks like the Sand King went bottom as well, so get that Bloodseeker a little more farm.
I'm really rooting for Radiant on this one because I love seeing unconventional picks. I feel like it's more fun for everyone involved, except for say the enemy team. But it's definitely more fun for the viewers. And yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty funny. I want to see Rubik make a big play here.
So it seems to be kind of a little bit of a passive early game. This definitely favors Nanaue, right? The Radiant.
Well, looking at the last hits and denies, it looks like Mirana is up ahead with the top two last hits. And if you look at the Bloodseeker, he only has two last hits now.
He's double the last hits in a mere seconds.
Compared to the Slardar, who is 10 and 7.
Yeah, I think that if they're gonna play this Bloodseeker bottom lane like this, he just needs to soak up as much levels as he can and then start ganking that Invoker mid. Because I really don't see what he can get out of this bottom lane by himself.
So we have the Invoker getting pretty low. The Mystic Snake is kind of destroying him here. He does have a Bassi actually getting sent out to him. Sand King with a haste, kind of just waddling his way through, shows himself and gets a ward down. Sentry doesn't really know. Oh, and the first blood going top to bottom of the moon. Just suicide kill right onto the Lifestealer. But they are diving onto this Bloodseeker. They do get a stun onto the Rubik plus the Ice Path, and that is the exchange there. Nothing really happening there as he does TP in.
that kill is more than a gold advantage, but I feel like it's also a morale advantage. Oh, the sentry goes down. Oh, this is gonna
Yeah, the
hurt
sentry
techies.
top.
Yeah. They're gonna,
Oh no,
this is actually
the
a lot of
mines.
gold and XP that these mines can be giving away. Now that they do give gold and XP. But they
Looks
are
like
going down
bottom
bottom.
lane,
Rubik is
Rubik
gonna
is going
die.
to go down,
Bloodseeker is gonna
Slardar
run
is
after
going
the Slardar. They might be able to get the kill. He does fairy fire and salves up, and no, the Bloodseeker does lose most of his movement speed there as he is chasing him.
Oh, they might be able to turn this. Nope. And it looks like everyone just disengaged.
Hey Omar, no more all chat. The people playing can see that.
Oh, they can?
Yeah.
Live feed. I thought it was only spectators.
No, it's not. So Lifestealer is leading the CS chart with 21, pretty good for him, even with getting first blooded. It's pretty good. He really needs to get ahead, I think, to be able to fight the side of Nanaue.
I think Takis needs to get some sentries up so he can counter their sentries. He just needs to. It's gonna be a vision battle on top for the mines, or that's what it should be. Maybe just gonna opt in for placing mines away from their sentry.
Slardar is hit level 4, same with Jakiro. Sand King still only level 2, so still can't really jungle yet, even if he wanted to. Level 1 Sandstorm doesn't really allow you to jungle very efficiently. There still is a walking courier on the side of Nanaue, which, I mean, I would have reported by now. Oh, there we go. Flying is now out. Jakiro does find the Sand King here in the jungle. He is going to Sandstorm off the Liquid Fire.
Well, I think this Techies has been basically ruined top lane, so I don't really know what they're going to have to do to solve this. Giving Lifestealer free farm with 32 CS.
Actually, if we look top, the mines are just out of range of the sentry, so
They might
that mine batch should be safe.
Yeah, the Slardar and Jakiro are trying to find something here, but it's pretty obvious when the Rubik and Sand King are just kind of sitting in lane, and I mean, no one's pressuring them here. But they are going to wrap around here. Rubik's pretty out of position. Slardar does get that sprint off, trying to get the crush onto the Rubik. Is the Ice Path going to come out and stop him? No, the crush does come out. They do get the Liquid Fire. They do get the Ice Path. The Blood Right is coming out, going to silence up the Slardars. In the meantime, Teki does kill the Lina up top. He does get the Fade Ball out onto the Slardar, and they are going to finish off the Rubik with the crush. They should just try to get out of here. So it's a 1-for-1 around the board as the Lina, I'm pretty sure, just, ran into those mines right up here. So it's a pretty alright engagement. The Techies is expected to kind of get the kills here.
Christian?
Christian, you're breathing right into your microphone.
Oh, weird. Sorry.
Lifestealer kind of going 1-to-1 against this Techies. Kind of don't want to do that if you know that the suicide is up, as he can just blow up in your face and kill you.
How much damage does that suicide do?
Yeah, doesn't hit much. It does a lot of damage, and it's physical, so it does go through range. It does 850 damage if you get the full damage. So would pretty much kill the Lifestealer. Not from full health, but just getting him down a little bit would kill.
Looking at this mid lane here, it looks like the advantage that the Medusa had in the first 5 minutes or so of the game has pretty much depleted as the Invoker's caught up in CS. But as you can see, Mystic Snake just keeping that Invoker out of lane.
He is looking to go the Exort build, though, so we were kind of wrong on that one. So I mean, this Medusa is going to pretty much be full mana this entire game. They really have nothing to deal with the mana of the Medusa, so I don't know how that is going to be for Invoker. Even actually last game when he played Invoker, he even went just 1 in Wex, even after he maxed Exort and maxed Quas after that. Which I definitely think is not the build, and it definitely shouldn't be the build this game, especially against this Medusa.
Yeah, I think he's just going with what he's comfortable with. Maybe he's not as comfortable with that Quas Wex build like we thought would be best for the situation. So, I mean, it is better to stay with what you're comfortable with. Oh, looks like Techies.
Kills himself.
Yeah, the Sunstrike went down on top. got Techies to about like less than half HP, probably around a fourth. Techies just couldn't handle the pressure and killed himself.
Dire's middle tower
Probably
is
got
under
bullied as a
attack.
child.
Too much spookage.
Lifesteal is pretty low up here. Techies could come back, but he doesn't have the suicide, so he can't get up there and just suicide right in his face. So, XP is a little bit for Nanaue, and the gold is a little bit for Hakuna Mirana, but it's very, very close.
Oh, there's gonna be a kill mid.
Yeah, the Blood Right goes out. Doesn't really need. I mean, I don't think the Bloodseeker was needed there. It kind of gives the vision, and the Medusa does get the last kill, the last hit with that Mystic Snake.
Well, he allowed the rupture, so Invoker couldn't run away.
Dire's middle
Oh,
tower
that's
is under
definitely
attack.
needed then. Slardar has hit level 6. So Jakiro is about to hit it now. One more creep will give him that level
Radiant's
6.
bottom tower is under attack.
Once this Lena hits level 6, do you guys want to see her
Dire's
rotate,
middle
or do you
tower
think they
is
should just
under
try to kill this
attack.
Techies?
I think honestly, she could leave this lifesteal alone by himself right at this point. I mean, lifestealer could just play it safe, get solo XP, and then and he would just be careful with techies. But this techies isn't really doing much,
Is under attack. Radiant structures are
especially with all these sentries being dropped.
So they are trying to push this bottom tier 1 tower. Should be able to get it with a couple more right clicks, maybe a liquid fire to do. Slardar does
Radiant's
get the
bottom
last hit
tower
there.
has fallen.
And Rubik does actually steal Macropyre, so it's a pretty good spell to have. I mean, it does a lot of damage, but it's kind of hard to keep people inside of that Macropyre.
Bloodseeker's sitting on 1900 gold right now. Curtis, what do you think he should go next?
I kind of do like. Oh, hold that thought. As the Jakiro does get ruptured, and Slardar actually does cancel his TP as the Sand King does come in
That's
and
good.
cancel that TP. He is gonna should be able to just sprint away from this one, but yeah, it's a very hopeful TP as the Sand King was rotating in. Back to your other question though, I think the Bloodseeker should. I mean, he can go Hand of Midas and even more secure the late game, but I would actually like to see him go Radiance, being able to be a nuisance around the map, just getting all of the heroes of Hakuna Mirana low and being able to have the techies finish them off and be a little more space creating for the Medusa. If he goes to the Midas build, he really can't do anything until the late game, and they're just banking that build.
I think the Radiance should be good because the Medusa will already be the carry for this situation, so he won't have to get as much gold and XP as he needs. He just needs to be getting kills in the early game.
Yeah, there was a little skerfuffle mid, but the Ghost Walk does keep the Invoker alive there.
I'm really curious to see what they do. I'm wondering if they're just banking on the fact that they don't think this Lifestealer will be as big of a problem later in the game.
I mean, I definitely, last time I was casting, I casted Team Rajawali with Skylar, and that Lifestealer went complete ham. Lifestealer definitely can carry 1v5, I feel like. He's one of those kids, he just heals so much, but...
He's up by almost 14 last hits, and it's no end in sight. He's getting solo XP now. I just don't know. I feel like it's a bad decision to leave this lifesteal alone top.
Yeah,
but I really don't see. I don't see what they could do because they kind of need to shut down. Well, they've lost bottom tower, so they could have some rotations top and just have the Bloodseeker get solo XP and try to rotate around for kills.
But even if they do come up in gank, how would they do it? I mean, they come up in rupture, sure, but then Lifestealer turns on his armlet and fights you. Like, I don't think they have enough damage to even kill him here.
I think they would need a rotation of 3. I mean, and that would commit a lot of people to the map. So I don't know. I feel like they made a misstep by allowing this Lifestealer to get this fat.
Rubik and Jakiro fighting over a regen rune. Rubik does lift and deny it. Pretty cool play by him, and Ice Path stolen by Rubik. Pretty good spell for Rubik to have because it is instant, unlike the Rubik casting it. So kind of like the Earthshaker with Fisher. It's a pretty good spell for Rubik to have, but not as good for Jakiro to have.
If we take a look at the net worth, we see Lifestealer now at the top with 5,100, Medusa in a close second, and Bloodseeker in third.
I think that I don't know. The Medusa's not too far behind, but I feel like just
there is two smoke ganks clashing here. The Slardar does get a blink crush, and the Sunstrike does finish off the Rubik. There is an epicenter coming out, but isn't gonna finish off anyone. The backfire does go lay down, trying to kill this Slaughter. The crush does miss. The Mystic Thing does a considerable amount of damage, but they do get 2 kills on the side of Hakuna Mirana. They are gonna try to just TP out of this. Throw TPs out, Slaughter blinks away, and then TPs out. So pretty good smoke rotation coming out of Hakuna Mirana, but failed smoke rotation coming out of Nanaue. So very, very well played by Hakuna Mirana there.
I feel like Dire has a lot of good, like, teamwork. I'm not teamwork, like synergy with the heroes. You have the Ice Wall and then the, you know, Invoker Sunstrike is a great combo. Then you can have, you know, a Lifestealer Infest inside Slaughter, slither in there and destroy everyone. They just have a lot of good combos.
This Slaughter's already got a blink too, so they're doing pretty good for the team.
Yeah, and there's actually, they're just gonna smoke up right again. They're like, hey, my smoke gank worked the first time. Let's try it again. And so they have the same 3 heroes smoked up, and looks like they're going to try to find the Bloodseeker here in the jungle, who did pick up that Sacred Relic, and is going to be going that Radiance build, which I definitely think is a good choice for him to go here. But top, nope, never mind, he isn't going to go on here.
They might catch him out.
They might find the Bloodseeker here. If he is the wiser, he'll start running away now, but they don't. They do see him, they get the Blink Crush, the LSA, the Ice Bath, and that is one dead Bloodseeker. Very good smoke rotation there. Nothing the Bloodseeker really could have done about that one.
Okay, so it's 14 minutes in, Curtis. We see the start of the gang train coming out.
The Medusa is getting gone on mid. He did see them kill the Bloodseeker there, so I don't know what she was doing so far up, but yeah, just gets taken down there.
So what do you think Nana needs to do differently about this? Because I don't know. They're starting to fall behind in the snowball from.
I definitely think this is what they were expecting. Their Bloodseeker's kind of going a greedy Radiance build. They did pick a Medusa. They have a Techies who really can't rotate. So I think their plan is to just hold high ground. They have Techies, they have Medusa, they have Sand King, they have Bloodseeker. Those are great heroes for holding that high ground. And that choke point, you're gonna get hit by Bloodright, you're gonna get Stone Gaze, you're gonna get Epicentered. Like, I think their whole goal is to not lose before. If they don't lose before 50 minutes, I think even if they get Mega Creeped, they can come back.
All right.
Ash Curtis, you missed the Techies did kill Lifestealer just on the top lane.
Oh really?
This Techies is actually a monster. I've been watching him, and she's been making some pretty good plays. He's been baiting Lifestealer like crazy under his tower. Lifestealer just keeps taking the bait.
Well, very well played to him.
He had a horde of stasis traps just on the floor. Lifestealer walked right into the middle of all of them and just got beat down by the tower.
So Rubik did steal Sunstrike here, so they do have that global presence. 350 pure damage, not too bad for a spell for Rubik to steal. I do like playing Rubik against Invoker because you get basically 12 more spells that you can take. So it's pretty fun interaction there. They are moving 3 heroes on the side of Nanaue into the Dire jungle here. They might try to catch out this Lifestealer if they do see him. They do get the stun. They are going to lead in with the Epicenter, but he is just going to rage and start rifling him down. They do get the Sunstrike going down onto the Sand King, but he does get blown up by the Techies in the end.
I think they used a scan there, Curtis.
Oh yeah, looks like they did. They knew exactly where he was.
New treasures.
Probably one of the first times so far out of all my time playing Dota that I've seen the skin used inside a productive way that actually help the team.
Well, when you don't have Omar wasting it in your game.
It's used much more effectively in a team game where you can have synergy. I'll tell you that.
The Slaughter has a DD down bottom. I wonder if they're going to push for this tower.
Yeah, it looks like they are posturing around there. They have 3 heroes here. No one really to defend it so far.
What's going on?
What's up, Skyline?
Are we gonna play Dota?
We're casting.
I'll play Dota with you.
Should I leave?
Yes.
All
right, so we have the Hakuna Mirana pushing down bottom, and it looks like the Nanaue does kind of want to defend it as they are bringing in the Sand King, who doesn't have a blink dagger yet. Sitting around here, but they are just gonna poke at it with Liquid Fire, and they do have a pretty good slow siege here.
Looking at the net worth, it is in Hakuna Mirana's favor at about 3k, and with that, it is because of these towers that Hakuna Mirana has been taking.
They do get a blink stun onto the Medusa and the amplify damage. The Stone Gaze does come out, so they are going to have to back away from this kill, and that's what I'm saying. The last year is not really the best pick against Medusa because his best ability, Rage, I will say, is kind of
Pointless.
useless against that Medusa. You just turn on the Rage and fight him.
Well, and if you, with the life stealer, the life that he does get back is based on the percentage of the current health of the hero he is attacking. And if you look at the Radiant side, you have a lot of
lower health people.
Lower health heroes. So this life stealer is going to struggle a little bit to get the extra sustain he would normally have against strength heroes.
Not only that, but Suicide Squad attack is physical damage. So that can mess them up even more. I just feel like Lifestealer was the wrong pick in almost every way for this match.
Well, they didn't see the techies when they picked the Lifestealer.
That is true.
Was the last pick, but I still think it probably wasn't the best pick, just because it can't fight Medusa. Like, I don't know. No carry really can fight Medusa, I guess, but there are some heroes that are better equipped to dealing with it.
Cough anti-mage. Anyways, I think that the only real advantage that Hakuna Mirana has is
Rupture
the map.
The Lifestealer here. He does get double Ice Path up and into the Earth Spike out of the Sand King, and Lina does get stunned up, and they will take down the Lina. So 2 kills going the way of Nanaue, which they desperately need. These kills going their way is exactly what they need to keep themselves in this game. Sunstrike going out.
I think
is almost going to finish off the Bloodseeker. He has about 9 health, but he does get healed up by that Blood Rage. Jakiro is going to get stunned up, and they are going to actually finish off Techies before he gets his suicide off. That is really good. But the Epicenter is going to be cancelled by the Sand King. Gem on the deck here. Sand King does pick it up, and they are losing a lot of damage here.
That was a good fight for Nanaue. Yeah, I think, well now, I was going to say before that fight that I think the only advantage that Hakuna Matata has is map control. And now I think that with levels and net worth, they're about even now. So I think really the only one that Hakuna Matata has is the map control in this situation.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They are going to take out this top tier 1 tower. Kind of the most useless tower on the map.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
It does get taken down nonetheless, and Invoker does actually go down to bombs in the jungle. So Techi's doing a lot of work. We kind of were skeptical about the pick, but it's been definitely warranted after how well he's been doing in this game. What do you think Hakuna Mirana needs to do to kind of push and end this game before the Medusa and all these heroes come online?
Curtis, you need to move Omar back into the chat 1 sec. Sorry about that.
Hello.
What were you saying, Curtis?
What do you guys think that Hakuna Mirana kind of needs to do to kind of finish out this game and not succumb to the Medusa Bloodseeker late game that they are?
I think their smoke strats were working pretty well. I'd like to see another one of those come out and be successful. That would be what I think. I don't know. I think that this Lifestealer's he's decently farmed at this point with that Windlands pickup though. All right.
I think it's really tricky for Dire here because they want to end it earlier, but they can't because the Radiance's teamfight is just too good. You have Medusa, you have Techies, which can be really good in teamfights. You have Sand King and Bloodseeker, and they're all great team fighters.
The play is single pickoffs with the smokes or something in this situation.
Yeah, I think you go for a pickoff, get a tower, and then wait for that first Roche, and then just play it from there.
Yeah, so I honestly think that.
Go ahead.
I think that Jakiro, Slardar, and Lina could definitely like knock someone down before they even have a chance to respond.
Yeah, one thing that was kind of it was actually Nanaue's downfall in game 1 is that they did a push strat and just didn't take Roche, and I think in a push strat you really need to kind of take advantage of that early Roshan because it allows you to push uphill, gives your carry or your most dangerous hero 2 lives, so it allows you to Just put that hero on the high ground as a kind of ragdoll or dummy to hit the tower, and then you can actually take a fight with that second life. So I think their way back into this game is to definitely take advantage of that Roshan. Especially because they do have the Slardar, who has that minus armor against Roshan and can do really well.
So there's been kind of a swing in net worth as well. The Bloodseeker's leading by almost 600. Closer now to 400 gold.
Looks like they want to have a smoke here on the Dire. The Lina does have one probably after this Wild Wing is dead. They're gonna smoke up. Kind of looks like they're sort of indecisive, maybe waiting for the courier. Does have the mechanism recipe, which is very important for the Jakiro to have if they want to fight.
I think also if you look at the KDA of the game so far, we see Techies at the top. 5, 4, and 1. You have to remember those 4 deaths are from suicides, so he's been doing, I think, a great job so far. Techies was a good pick.
They do go for a smoke gank, and Lifestealer does pop into this ancient granite golem, just increasing the HP of his whole team. They do get a blink crush onto the Bloodseeker, and the Sunstrike just doing so much damage to him. He does get the rupture off, and they do take him down, which is definitely what they need as the most farmed hero on the map there.
And especially that Radiance burn that the Bloodseeker has, and the ability to just push out those lanes when Hakuna and Mirana, all they want to do is just push out the lanes while they can.
There is a big stack of bombs here, which they will see now.
Ooh.
They do get a blink stun onto the Rubik and the
the bash.
Plus the bash. They might be able to get this kill. Lina does succumb to the bombs of the Techies. Great stun coming out of the Sand King here to save the Rubik, but just barely dodges that Sunstrike. They look like they want to try to push this down. Fadeable going onto the Slaughter. Just a little bit of harass there, trying to keep them from pushing. Bloodseeker is still down for 8 seconds, so they can probably safely push this tower while he is dead. The fortification does come out. Techies is just planting bombs around the high ground. Slaughter does a blink in, gets stuns onto the creeps.
Oh, the
Blink Epicenter doing so much damage here. The meatball does come out, does finish off the Sand King. No one is dead yet on the side of Hakuna Mirana, but looks like they all will fall now as the Trooper does barely get out with his life. But a triple kill for the Bloodseeker, and this is what we were saying. With that Bloodseeker dead, they can push, but when he comes back, he just does so much damage with that Radiance that they can't push anymore.
Honestly, that was just a great engage by Sand King. Got everyone on their team to about half health, and then just
that was really well played.
That's the teamwork and the team fights I'm talking about. Saying that they really just there's nothing they can do against that team fight.
With the follow up from Mystic Stake and Split Shot and Blood Right, it's almost too much to handle.
Dire's middle tower
They are just going to push straight down mid lane the other way. Do you think that Hakuna Mirana can defend a push at this point?
I think they have it. I think they have enough with Meatball and Stun and Jakiro's Ice Path plus Molten Fire or Macropyre. I think they can do.
Onto the Bloodseeker, the amplify damage. He should go down here as the Slaughter does get the last right click down.
They are right next to Roshan. Looks like
they're going in.
They are
do go into the Roshan. This is definitely what they need. 50 seconds down on the Bloodseeker. If he doesn't buy back, then there's no way that I don't. With Epicenter down, especially, there's no way that the Radiant can contest this Roshan.
I think they take this and push for mid and try to get that tower down and then back. Try to get a pick off kill as they leave.
I'd say you get mid and top with this Aegis.
Yeah. I don't think they push for racks in this situation.
Lifestealer is building into that Assault Kuros. Definitely going to allow them to push faster. Really good against the Medusa, who is all physical damage. Gives them a lot of armor. They do seem to think Sand King is here, but he's way far down here in the trees, and they probably shouldn't be able to find him here, as they don't. They only have one blink dagger on the Slaughter. Slaughter does TP up top, trying to get that pesky Rat Medusa to stop her ways.
And Lifestealer does have the AC coming out to him right now, which is going to be a big help for that Medusa split shot damage. Of armor to his team.
They do see the Sand King here. They get the urn. Top to blink away. The Ice Path does miss. The dual breath goes out and actually does hit him, so they get the slow. He is going to burrow strike into the trees farther, and they are just going to let him go. Rubik here did steal Meatball, used it probably to just clear the creep wave out. Lincoln Sphere finished on the Medusa, probably mostly to stop the amplified damage, or the open wound. I guess Laguna Blade is pretty important too.
There's a lot of reasons why Lincoln's really good in this game.
And I mean, you can definitely see that Hakuna Mirana think they're on a clock, as the Invoker does pick up Necro Book, and he does have Necro too. It is a better solution to the Medusa, as it does burn mana. But it is kind of a older Invoker build, so it kind of shows us how they really want to end this game sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I definitely think that they need to end quicker, because this Medusa is pretty close to coming online, at least in a cursory stage. If she's get this Manta, I think she's about 600 gold away from it.
They are going to run into the technical mines here, so they do know someone is here. It's quite unfortunate, and they do blow up Slaughter, who is their initiator. At this point, they should probably just back, as they are doing. Quite unfortunate that the Slaughter had to blow up to his death there, and they might try to get a return kill here on the side of Nanaue.
If I'm honest, I don't think it's a good idea to be pushing, going in that, like, more mines coming out here. Oh, the Sin King is gonna go down.
Before it gets off, so it doesn't even go through the death. And Lexua just keeps blowing up that Bloodseeker and the Laguna Blade to finish it off. They are just going to back away. It looks like 2 Macropyres down on the ground, as the Chikiro does die to his own, I guess not his own Macropyre, but his own skill. And it's a 2 for 2, but it is the Bloodseeker who does continuously seem to be chain feeding, which is not what you want to see out of Bloodseeker, who just has Radiant Yasha at this point.
I think that, yeah, I'd have to agree with Curtis. I think that they were banking on the Bloodseeker to carry them through the beginning, and now that the Medusa has some of her core items, that we might see a change in their play. I'm wondering if this Medusa is just going to keep ratting, or if she's going to start coming to fights now. I still don't think she has enough to stay in the fights, though. I don't think she has enough health or damage to really be that big of a contributor yet.
Honestly, in the last fight, though, the reason that the Radiant didn't have the complete victory there was 100% because of Sand King. He really should have channeled his ult before going in. If he would have channeled his ult before going in, he would have had much better damage output than 0.
Yeah, definitely would have had a lot more damage, which probably would have finished a lot of those low kills.
Definitely, Dire would not have been able to fight after that one.
I think Sand King could have got a triple kill if he channeled his ult better.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's just a lack of vision, and he...
Yeah, I think he blinked into the...
He just had to act while he could see the Dire.
Yeah.
And the result of that was a...
mispositioning, but it's okay.
You can never really trust.
You can Ice Pass onto the Medusa. The Lincolns does block the amplified damage. She is going to pop her ult here. The Lifestealer is going to have to back away. Doesn't get Stone Form yet. It does get turned into Stone. The Heavy Center does come out, but doesn't do much because the Stone Gaze was already out. The Bloodseeker does get hit with the Ice Path and is going to get chunked down by the Lifestealer again. Lifestealer is taking some pretty hefty damage as the Techie's mines are blowing up in their face. Slaughter does blink into mines, but does get the stun onto the Medusa. The Cookies did kind of want to go in Suicide there, but the great Ice Path coming out. The Suicide doesn't kill anyone. The Amplified damage is doing a lot of work on the Medusa, and they do finish off the Medusa. Everyone's super low on the side of the Mirana. Slaughter does go down 56 seconds.
Oh, and it's...
But they do finish off. Booker might go down here to the tower shots because of the Amplified damage, but no. Everyone's so low on the side of the Mirana. The Aegis does expire there at the end of the fight, so Slaughter, the Lifestealer does have full health, and they should just try to look and push here, as they did get a full team wipe on the side of Mirana.
And although this Techies is up, there are no mines down for this mid lane.
I think one of the worst parts, like, I feel really bad about Techies, because Slardar is way too tanky for Techies. His mines cannot even kill Slardar. Sardar's been over all of his mines so far, and only one of them has actually killed him.
I think at this point, Techies' job needs to be starting to fortify this base.
They do finish off the mid barracks, the mid melee barracks, which is the more important of the two, and they're just going to run away. The Kuro's TP does get cancelled, and the Lifestealer does die to Rupture, so they are getting a lot of return kills here. The Rubik does steal the dual breath, and the Jakiro is going to go down to the right click of the Blitz. They do get a lot of return kills, which is quite important. The Sunstrike does come off onto the Zanking, and they do lose the Lina too, so they do get the melee racks, but they pay heavily with it. The triple kill onto
they also get the range racks up in here. Mid lane is all the way down.
There is a pretty big wave top as well.
I gotta say, it was entertaining watching the Lifestealer run to his own death. Just slowly ticking down, he really couldn't do anything there.
Invoker has respawned, does have that Necro 3, has the Tornado at the ready. Zen King does blink in, gets the Yule, and the stun onto the Sand King, plus the lift. Bloodbright is coming out, he will get hit by that. Sand King, or the Slaughter should go down the Tornado does hit, plus the Deathful Blast does hit. He is ruptured up and cannot move. So their Initiator is dead, and this might be a hard defense, actually, on the side of Mirana if they do decide to push high ground, but they do not. They are kind of scared of that Lifestealer coming back alive. Christian, what do you think is the next item for the Lifestealer here?
He's sitting on 4k gold. He's got enough health, I feel like. I feel like a damage item is going to be coming out from him.
The Reaver's coming out, looks like.
Epicenter is channeled down.
Or maybe a heart.
To kill the Jakiro here. He does mech and is going to go down. The Lifestealer has no fear, just runs in, but the open wounds is going to get blocked by the Linkster of the Medusa. So just a kill for an Epicenter there in the bot lane.
If he's going for a heart, I feel like
the heart is technically a damage item for the Lifestealer, as it does
with
give a
Lifestealer, yeah.
It does give a hefty amount of strength.
Damage.
So.
I think that the heart might actually be the best play in this situation. With AC, Armlet, and heart, he'll be almost unkillable in any situation, and he'll be hitting pretty hard with the Armlet toggle and heart up on him. I think maybe a heart into a pure damage item might be the way he goes.
We also can't forget about the amplified damage from the Slaughter, allowing the Lifestealer to do more of a tanky build because he's getting that minus armor from the Slaughter to do a lot more damage.
Yeah, that minus 20 armor plus Armlet and heart would be kind of devastating to anyone.
The way I look at it is Slardar is going to be the one leading the Dire to victory if they do end up winning, because he's the frontliner. He's their only real tank.
Yeah.
I guess you could say Lifestealer, but
they definitely
he's more
need
damage
to do damage. Like, they need Lifestealer to tank and initiate. They need Lifestealer to do damage. Is the difference there.
I think looking at Nanaue, I think that this Medusa needs to be stepping up her farm, even at a basic level, because I don't think that they have enough on her yet to deal with any of these people, and it's not any fault of hers.
They do get a pick up onto the Sand King up top. I kind of missed that one, but it was just a blink from the Slaughter into the Lifestealer, coming in and finishing him off there. And one thing we haven't really been seeing a lot in this game is that the Lifestealer could easily jump inside the Slaughter with the Initiate and just be in there as soon as the Slaughter gets in there, which is allowing him to skip the Blink Dagger entirely, which is definitely a good thing out of them. They are pinging the bombs out directly, so they will plant a sentry, and with the Lina's super far range, they are trying to bring out the mines. Kind of a cheeky play there from the Techie to kill the Lina, but isn't gonna finish her off there. Slaughter is
that blink in.
Gets Techie's mine stunned, plus the lift back.
Yeah, I think now because
Mirana can just
because they sought out
Medusa and Bloodseeker are just in different places, kind of trying to force these CPs back.
This push.
I think that if they get racks here, it's going to be really hard for. I think if they get racks here, it's going to be really hard for Nanaue to come back from this. I don't think the Medusa's as farmed as she needs to be to deal with this team.
And it looks like they are just backing on the side of Hakuna Runner as the Jakiro TP's out, and so does the Invoker and everyone else as well.
Catching on the Sand King in the top lane there just really really took off a lot of pressure off their shoulders. Let them push without worry about getting blinked on.
Omar's assessment of Slardar carrying the Dire to victory, I think it will be the Sand King that carries Radiant to victory if they are to win. The initiation out from Sand King will really be what sets the tone for most fights.
As of right now, it looks like Sand King's carrying them to defeat because he got caught out once, lack of an epicenter once. Honestly, I'm not really impressed by his play so far. Maybe I'm more critical because I play Sand King, but I don't know.
If he was to... I feel like he'd need to initiate differently, but that'd be about it. And it's not that he's initiating wrong. It's just that he's getting caught out, and so they're losing their initiator.
Yeah, definitely. If he doesn't get caught out, that even just him being alive puts on the pressure for them, for the Dire, so that they don't push. But him being caught out dead, they have full confidence to go full.
He does 880 damage just flat if he gets all of his pulses off with the epicenter, yeah. Plus the Medusa split shot and Stone Gaze. That could be a deadly combo if they're allowed to get it off.
I feel like Radiance is making a lot of. They're not really using their advantage. I feel like when they have their ults up, I feel like they should be forcing more fights. They could easily go for a team fight and win it, in my opinion.
Question, Omar. A soul booster was just now picked up from the Sand King. Do you think that the Octarine Core, or maybe Bloodstone, I guess, is the right choice for him?
Octarine Core, or honestly, I never. When I play Sand King, I never really build his items. I'm more of a Ags kind of guy.
I definitely think Ags.
That could be a casual soul.
It could
be a casual soul builder.
Isn't that really bad against Lifestealer, as he does do more damage the more health you have?
He does more damage. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why he picked it up, other than just to stay alive from the burst, but... Because we haven't been seeing Lifestealer focus the Sand King as much. He's been getting hit by more of a burst thing. Maybe he's hoping to stay alive through that a little longer.
I feel like he doesn't really need to stay alive. As Sand King, you should really prioritize getting off epicenter and stunning someone, and then your life really doesn't matter anymore.
So you definitely
think as long as your epicenter goes down, you're fine.
I definitely think that I feel like that's what he's been trying to do. I just feel like he's been caught out, which is why he would pick up the soul booster, in my opinion.
Looking at the net worth before this little skirmish takes place, it is dead even. Hovering around that 0 range for the net worth difference.
The epicenter goes down, he blinks in, stuns, it's killed the whole team.
But he is going to get blown up there. The Lina does go down, the Kuro should go down here soon. He is ruptured, but the Sand King is dead, as well as the Lifestealer is just kind of running amok inside of the Radiant base. He does have that Aegis, so they do have to take him down twice. And a lot of the damage they did there was because of the Techies Mine, so he is going to come back up. He does have the Rage available. He is just going to pop inside of the Forge Spirit and run away.
I definitely think...
I love that.
He does finally die there, but the tornado comes out. Pretty good tornado from the Invoker. The Lifestealer is going to run back into Slardar. Does get the crush onto the Bloodseeker, but does get stoned up. Is going to almost finish off the Bloodseeker, but the Manta is going to dodge him out a little bit. The Lifestealer just getting the life back out of hitting the Rubik there. Is trying to arm the toggle, but does go down in the end to the Bloodseeker. So no racks taken, and they do almost get team wiped on the side of Hakuna Mirana.
That was a really
I definitely think I can't decide whether or not I liked the use of Stone Gaze there, or if she should have used it when if she should have been closer to when Sand King uses Epi. So I feel like it was
one thing I think you're kind of missing is that Stone Gaze 100% magic resistance. So if you use Stone Gaze during Epicenter does no damage. So you really want to use those at the same time. So.
But I think the real issue there was that when Sand King went in, it was a great engage, but the problem was Lifestealer was deep inside of Radiance's lines. So they really couldn't go to help Sand King in the fight, and so I feel like his ult wasn't used to its fullest potential. Lifestealer really disrupted their advance. It's like they couldn't move up to help Sand King because Lifestealer, if they did, Lifestealer would just picked off their whole team from the back.
I mean, it also goes both ways, as the Sand King kind of disrupted the Lifestealer. Like Lifestealer had to 1v5, and both of his lives were just kind of useless at that point. Whereas if
I think that
Sand King didn't
Yeah.
go in and disrupt them. He could have gone in, and the Lifestealer would have just been the kind of focal point, like, focus me, because you can't kill me, and then Invoker and Lina and everyone else would have just done the killing there.
Yes.
I definitely think that Nanaue played that a little better than Mirana. The Sand King was. I agree with your assessment that he went in to disrupt the fight, and that kind of left the Lifestealer to do is have to fight 4v1.
And looking
Invoker-
at the net worth now after that fight, despite both 2 kills, there is a 3k net worth advantage for the Radiant, ever increasing. Continue 40 minutes into it.
Invoker did
think
pick up a Desolator here. I think it's, again, trying to enhance the Lifestealer to do more damage. They're kind of focusing more on the Lifestealer to do damage, and less so on other heroes. But again, minus armor just, I mean, it helps everyone do damage in the long run, so pretty good setup for him.
You saw that last fight though. The Medusa was hitting the Lifestealer for the entirety of the fight, and Lifestealer was just able to walk around and keep hitting people. So I think with more follow-up, I don't think that this Medusa has enough damage to really shut this Lifestealer down yet. And especially if he had his teammates there in a more organized fashion, I don't think that Nanaue would be able to stand up against that.
Lina does pick up a Hood of Defiance because they are, I guess, against the Epicenter. If they finish the pipe, they kind of, and the Radiance actually decreasing the damage from all of that is very good for them. They are going to smoke here. They missed the Jakiro, but oh well, he's not that important.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He is just going to go and push
They're
out.
going for another
lanes.
smoke gank.
They do have a scan available, so they might try to use it to find someone out, but they do seem to be going in here a little bit blind. They don't have any wards on the map, and smoking blind is one of the scariest things you can do, because if you run into the whole team, kind of screwed there, because they are on the defense. They do see the Medusa. They do get the crush onto the Medusa. They pop the Lincoln, so they get the open moves for the meatball. They have everything down on the plus the. Oh, I think the Laguna Blade was actually dodged there by the Manta. The Stone Gaze does go out. He turns onto the turning on the Bloodseed. The Medusa is doing a lot of damage to the rest of the team, and Lifestealer does go down in the end. And I think it's at the point where they really can't fight this Medusa. They threw literally everything they had at this Medusa and didn't kill her.
Definitely underestimated that Medusa.
I think
real
the
game
Medusa
changer, though, was
did
Sand King,
Manta
too.
dodge that Laguna Blade though.
Yeah,
I think she
that's
might
pretty
have.
sick.
Sand King did go in, disrupt 2 of the members that were attacking Medusa, and land a fully blown epicenter on them, destroying their health pools.
Blew his load all over the
I think that's
Dire.
Stone Glaze. I don't know if it was intentional, but I think that planning of waiting for the epi a little bit longer.
Yeah, that was just really good teamwork.
Dire's
That's
I think
that's what I'm thinking about when I say that the team fight is just too deadly.
Lifestealer is forced to buy back here, but it doesn't look like they want to back up. Actually, they are going to back up with that buyback. They're just sending the illusions to force down the racks. They do get the range back down a little bit, but not. They probably would have liked to get a little bit more. They did force out the buyback though, which is a lot of gold out of the Lifestealer and Invoker's pocket.
And
if they have another
pick
fight
up
like that, I
Octarine.
think it's GG, because the Lifestealer won't be able to come back and defend against Rax.
Yeah, Sand King now has the Octarine core. Honestly, I don't get why. I mean, I guess the
lower the
Lifestealer
cooldown
from that.
of Epicenter, so that's a nice thing. It's about 75 seconds
does.
now, but I feel like, I don't know, other items could have been a little bit more efficient.
I say Aghanim's because Aghanim's increases the range of his Q, makes his ult do more damage, and applies Caustic Finale with his Burrow Strike. I mean,
I feel like, yeah,
I feel like it's a superior item in honestly every way. I don't know why
But
he
the
didn't
health
build
pool coming from Octarine might be the reason why he's staying alive in these fights long enough to get on. I don't know. It's a trade-off.
Alex, do you think if the Medusa didn't Manta dodge the Laguna Blade, they would have gotten that kill and been able to turn the fight around? Do you think that was a key point in the fight, or do you think it, even if it went off, it wouldn't have mattered?
I think it would have been pretty close, but even if they did get that, well, I don't know, because the turning point of that fight was the stone gaze from the Medusa. So I think if they would have been able to get the Medusa before she could get that off, it might have played a little differently. I still think it would have been very close, though. Just because of the presence the Sand King has.
So they are postured around mid, like they want to finish what they started in this mid lane and take those racks.
And we see all the cooldowns are up now,
Yeah,
so
and
everyone
center
has
and
their
center
abilities.
all back up.
Lena has a smoke in the stash. It's like they're waiting to smoke up here, possibly.
I definitely think if Nanaue takes this next team fight, it's game. But I don't think that Hakuna Mirana could take this game because there's still buy box on almost all of the heavy hitters. Actually, no, there's
only two buybacks.
Only
the Medusa
two.
and the Rubik.
So I'm really not. With the
Bloodseeker is close.
but the problem
Bloodseeker
is,
has 600 gold until his.
yeah. So I feel like that Hakuna Matata. I mean, I feel like Nanaue would be able to defend against a push if they need to. And I definitely think this this Medusa could just devastate their high ground, especially if they got Techie's mines.
So now that the Sand King has the Octarine core, Omar, do you think he's gonna go back for the Aghanim Scepter?
I'm not sure if they have enough time to get some more gold. That much gold. I don't know. I feel like he should just sell his Octarine core. Sell Octarine core, buy Ags. I mean, it's not really efficient, but I don't know why he has Octarine core still. I mean, Aghanim's are just so good on Sand King. It makes his range insane. He can engage from like anywhere on the map when he has Ags. I mean, I don't. Alex, what do you think about Invoker? You're our Invoker expert. What has he been doing wrong or doing right?
Well, there have been a lot of questionable Sunstrikes that I've noticed and said anything about. I don't know what's up with that. And I haven't really been seeing the EMP being used very much in these fights, and that is a very important spell, especially when you're going against a Medusa.
I think that's due to his skill build here. I mean, he maxed the Quas again, only 3 in Wex. That EMP is really not that effective still.
I definitely think he needs to be switching his build at this point.
Yeah, I think the Quas Invoker definitely would have been a lot better than the Quas. But they do get Aegis in this fight, so that's very important to them. They give the Aegis over to the Slaughter.
I think if you're Hakuna Mirana, this is all or nothing right here. Is you need this fight, you need to have a good engagement, turn that into a push, and if you aren't successful with the Aegis and Cheese, you really don't have to go off.
Yeah, I think the only person who'd be able to come back is the Jakiro and Slardar. Everyone else has got at least 2 minutes, and I don't know if Lena can make up 800 gold before the fight. She might be able to with the wave top, but
actually, Techies has had his Ag Scepter for a long time. I feel like we haven't seen much from Techies in a while, but he has the Ag, so he can now be relevant in team fights with his ult.
I think he's definitely been fortifying this base so that if they do lose a team fight, they have a better chance of staying alive.
Exactly.
So it looks like the Invoker is going to go for, guess a Shiva's, or maybe Lotus Orb. They have liked that item. In the past 2 games, they picked up Lotus Orb on their supports every game, but there was a Beastmaster in the game, so that it does take off the roar. With this plate mail, there already is an AC on their team, so I'm guessing the only other thing is the Shiva's Guard, which is pretty good against the Medusa, giving your whole team armor, making her slower attack speed. So definitely a good item choice out of her. We have a Pipe and a Crimson Guard on the Slaughter, so definitely going full utility after that blink. And we actually have double Pipe. In 687, they added Pipe is stackable, fully stackable, so you can use it both times and you get the full magic resistance. But do we really think that the magic damage from Nanaue is the problem in these fights, and that the dual Pipe will help more?
I think if they can get the dual Pipe off, then Epicenter will be pointless.
They can completely make Sand King irrelevant with those 2 pipes.
I think that if this pipe is executed well, that Sand King initiation is basically done. And I really, I wonder, do you think Medusa's going for a Moonshard, or what else?
Who's Medusa?
Yeah.
Looks like Moonshard to me. Maybe AC.
I don't know. An AC might give her more survivability, but she's already got a ridiculous amount of mana to absorb damage. So I think maybe a Moonshard.
Classic NA Dota all chat coming out.
It's not Dota without the all chat banter.
So what do we think the next item here is for the Lifestealer? We probably need to see some damage coming out of him. I would actually like to see a Mjolnir maybe coming out from him. What do you think, Christian?
I definitely think attack speed would help in this situation. I don't know.
He is actually gonna go MKB, it looks like.
I was just about to say either a crit item or a high damage like MKB might be.
Wait a second. He could buy the MKB if he wants to. Wait, no, he needs 3,000 gold. But
yeah,
is there any chance this is a Divine Rapier?
I feel like it's
it'd be fun.
At this point it might be all or nothing for them. So I feel like if he gets the Divine Rapier, he might go straight for the Medusa and just try to kill him down as fast as he can. There is a possibility, I feel like. At this point, I don't know. I feel like Hakuna Mirana realizes that if they lose their next fight, that it's GG for them. Because with this Mirana's push power, with this Medusa's push power, I don't really think there's any chance of them staying alive. So maybe, but I don't know.
Also, if you look at Sand King, he has 4,000 gold.
Well, he just bought. What did he just buy?
No, he didn't
Just
buy
buy-
it.
No, he didn't. He bought 2 javelins.
Okay, so it is that MKB. The safer route, it does get rid of that mischance from the Radiance, which is always good. And he's hitting for over 130, or 330 now, which is pretty hefty amount.
Pretty hard.
I think the best option for Sand King here would be a Divine Rapier. I've had a lot of success with it in the past. I think it's pretty good.
King? Did you say Sand King?
Yes.
I don't think. That
I
would
prefer
be
the
best
6
option.
Iron Branch build.
Yeah, 6 Iron Branch build at 50 minutes.
No,
I
actually,
think it
I
is
remember
actually
playing
gonna
with
be
Curtis one time. He built 6 bottles once. It was pretty effective. We ended up winning that game.
I did do that.
They never expected it.
So Curtis, where do you think this next fight's gonna go down? Because I think they're just, I don't know what they're doing right now.
It looks like the Hakuna Mirana is kind of posturing around this secret shop area.
For a smoke.
On the courier, they do have a smoke. They actually ran out of their Aegis timer, so the Aegis is gone, which could be an issue. They still do have that cheese, which they might hand over to the Slaughter here, but they're definitely gonna smoke. Looks like both teams are actually smoking up as the courier is heading over to both sides, and yeah, so it's gonna be a double smoke action here, and this is gonna be probably the deciding fight of the game. Whoever wins this fight, unless they just both go into the jungle. Otherwise, I'm just hyping this up for nothing.
I think they went to opposite jungle. Oh, I wonder if they're gonna go straight for a push.
So
Nope,
they do
they're
see
gonna-
the Sand King here, and it looks like they want to jump on the Sand King. Could be
Uh-oh.
pretty much bait though. They do get the crush and the amplify damage. He is gonna get Yule's up. Ice Wall is down. He is not gonna channel that epicenter yet. He is amplified up. He does get Laguna bladed down. Doesn't get killed off yet. The Lifestealer
Man,
is
that
getting killed by the
Jesus, hitting
Bloodseeker, so
everyone.
the Lifestealer is down for another 90 seconds. Slaughter is getting low. The Invoker is dying off to the side. Slaughter is gonna be pretty low here. Does get finished off by the techies, and those are 2 heroes down for the side of Mirana. The epicenter does finally come off, finishing off the Jakiro, and the Lina does go down. So that's 4 kills for the side
that's
of
GG.
Nanaue, as Medusa still full health. So I don't
Yeah,
think
this
he's-
Medusa is just. You're 56 minutes in. There's nothing really you can do against this Medusa.
Also, if we notice, it didn't really make much of a difference, to be honest. But they didn't have the epicenter because Sand King was earned, and that disables Blink. If he got an Aghanim Scepter, he could have just used his Burrow Shot to go straight into the middle of the action with his epicenter. But,
Oh,
you know,
the EMP finally coming out, not connecting with anyone.
There might be a reason he didn't do the
I definitely think it's.
Jakiro does go down. No buyback on him.
I don't
Down
think
for
there's
90 seconds.
any way.
They are gonna
And
finish off the Mech 3.
Lifestealer doesn't have any buyback.
It's looking like the end. The tornado does come out. Doing little to no damage as they do finish off the Mega Creeps.
Dire's top barracks has
Alright, so
fallen.
since
They
it's
still got bottom.
since it's yeah, you get
Oh,
bottom
yeah,
ranks
yeah,
here, Curtis.
I thought they finished bottom. That's my bad. But then
I don't see any. I definitely don't see any way that they can fight this. They've lost 2 fights to Medusa, and
Dire's bottom
honestly, the life stealer just gets knocked down way too fast.
Why would you type that?
I was there.
Omar's dumb as fuck.
Now you're making me look bad.
Wow.
Dire's middle tower
No,
has
no,
fallen.
no, no, no.
Radiant's top barracks are
Well,
under
Omar's
attack.
stupid.
Radiant victory.
Anyways,
Alright, well, thanks for watching these 3 amazing games with me. Kind of some unconventional picks out of the side of Nanaue. If you liked my casting or have any constructive criticism you'd like to send my way, you can tweet at me at Curtis_Condota with 2 T's, and we'll see you next time.